Welcome back, YouTube. G-Body Auto back at you for another video. Today working on a 2012 Acura TSX. So doing some rear hub bearings. So you see, I already got it jacked up in the back. Doing both sides, I believe. That might be the brake scrubbing, it might be the hub bearing. I'm gonna check this other side right quick. I already drove the car, it seems like it's coming from the back, but it sounds like more this side. Can't tell. I'm gonna do both though. That way you don't have to worry about it. So you can put your jack on the control arm back here and you jack both wheels up. Just make sure, of course, you get your jack stands. Be safe first. All right, we got both of those in place. So these lug nuts are 19 millimeter, and then hopefully your car has the key for that. If not, I'll tell you what you can do, but hopefully it has that. This was in the glove compartment, or it might be in your trunk by the spare tire with the tools that back there. So we'll get this loosened and move on. I got all 5 of those removed. Sometimes these wheels get stuck on there. You can kick it with your foot on the rubber part. There you go. So good tires on the back. The front ones are worn down, so I'm going to have to get 2 tires for them. Then you have this. A lot of time that strips. Hopefully this one doesn't. You got 2 of them on here, and then you have to drill them out if they strip. So for the if you don't have your key for that wheel lock, you're gonna have to either go to Acura, Honda dealership, or you can get this tool here. You can get this lockout kit, or you go to most tire shops. You can just have them remove your locks for you, and then you can, just take off the 4 lug nuts. Taking off the 1 lock is not gonna hurt you driving on it. The 4 lugs will hold just fine. But you can do that, and then either you can replace the lock with a regular lug. Just go to your parts store and get one for each wheel. That way you have to deal with it again. But if you want your locks, then you have to go to the dealership to get one. Just give them your VIN number, they'll get you one. Okay, so we're gonna attempt to move these 2 screw heads. Hopefully you get a big enough head in there, hopefully to move. The last ones I did move good. The several I did before that, I had to drill them out, and I don't have my bits that I need, so hopefully they'll come out. You might put some not degreaser, some WD-40 or some PV Blaster to loosen it up from the rust, and hopefully it'll move. All right, so you see I squirted some PV Blast. Here's the PV Blast. You can get it from Walmart or any parts store. Helps those rusty bolts and stuff like that. So I went ahead and took out my other wheel too and sprayed those so they can be soaking, and hopefully that'll help it. So I'm gonna try to find me a screwdriver head to put on my drill, or try it with my hand first with a screwdriver and go from there. I'm gonna show you what I did. Got one out. I try to use it with the regular screwdriver with a good head. You test out different heads, see which one sinks in there further. So I end up using the bit, and I tapped it with my hammer to make sure it go all the way in there. Now I put my drill on it, and it worked out. So I'm gonna see if this one will do the same. There you go. Good to go. A lot of times it's not that easy, so you might want to give that a try. Tap it with your hammer and then take it out. Oh yeah, this will turn when you're trying to turn it with the screwdriver or your drill. So I put the emergency brake up, that way it locks it in place. Then you just let it back down afterwards. Okay, so we're gonna take off the caliper next. There's a bolt here, and there's a bolt at the bottom. Hopefully you can see that. No, it's right here. That bolt right there. So 2 of those. That's a 17. If you don't have a 17, use a 11/16. That's what I'm using, because if you got your impact sockets, it's too long and thick to get past that nut there. So you need a swivel on there with an extension. And then, or if you're using a ratchet on manual way, you'll figure that out on how much extension you'll need. So let's get those 2 bolts moved. Okay, we got those 2 bolts out, and this gets you a bungee or if you got a tie strap or something like that, just make it where this will hang up. That way your rubber line won't break or something like that. Your hose, brake line hose. All right, so we're ready to get this loose. Sometimes you just gotta knock it a little bit. Get it past little rust. There you go. And there's your hub bearing. There'll be 4 bolts in the back. Same way. You want to make sure you take that out. That's the ABS sensor, a speed sensor. That should be a 10. Take that out, push it to the side, because if you try to take this hub out without taking it out, sometimes you can break those. Okay, be careful taking that out. Get you a pair of pliers and just wiggle it side to side and pull up at the same time. Sometimes they rust it on there pretty good, and sometimes they will break, but usually you can wiggle them loose. All right, so moving on to the hub bearing bolts. You see there's 4 of them there. Those also 17s. And so we get those out. All right, we got those 4 out. It's easier if you can lay down, at least down in this area, and point your face towards the backside than trying to wrap your arm around and all that. So it's pretty much loose. Wow, that's almost a first. That makes you feel like this hub bearing ain't that bad. It looked almost new. Wow, that came out really nice, but look how clean it is back there. It's different how they did those. You see these pretty rusted. But anyway, it does have some, it's kind of smooth. I hope it's not the front. It so sound like it was coming from the back. So anyway, if it's the front, I'll have to do the front too, but we'll get these other ones in here. Let's see. Get the box. There you have it. There's the new one. So the old one doesn't look bad at all. It sure was grinding, or we call it roaring, pretty bad from the back. Seemed like so. Maybe it's the other side that's worse. That's why I got 2, just in case. It's better to do 2 instead of just doing one side. Just go ahead and do both. If you're doing the front, do the both front. If you're doing the back, do the back both. But yeah, put this back on in reverse. Okay, I got those threaded in the back by hand. Now I'm gonna go ahead and use my impact. All right, we got that on nice and tight. So what's next? That'll be the rotor. And the brake pads are pretty good, pretty meaty in there, so they got plenty of pad left. So yeah, your rotor is next. I'll put it back on the same way. I do not put those screws back in. Some people choose to. It's kind of just to hold it in place, but it's not necessary. And then you put your caliper back in place. Let's see here. Yeah, I had to take my own advice. I kept on trying to do it from this side. Finally, I laid down and was able to get it. Anyway, so caliper's back on. And sometimes your brake pads will, fall in a little bit. You think you won't be able to get it back on there, but they don't move. So just don't hit the braking side. But you might have to use your screwdriver just to pull them back out as far as possible so it can slide back over the rotor. Speed sensor. I'll push that back in. Get your 10. Do that. Where's that? Good to go. And remove your little tie up there, whatever you have. That, and see that rotor is not gonna go nowhere. That's what I was saying earlier. You don't need to put them screws back in unless you just really want to. Now you're ready for your wheel to go back on. All right, got our wheel back on. So this side is done. And we'll go and move to the next side. So, and it's the same for both sides. So this shouldn't take you too long. Maybe, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes. And there you have it. You'll be back on the road. So it's another one from G-Body Auto, 2012 Acura TSX, hub bearings. Save yourself some time and money. Do it yourself. And thank you for watching. See you next time.